your layout photos, the question of the week, and a big flashback. All of that coming up on Dispatch. You are watching Dispatch, the variety show for model railroaders. I'm Roy Smith, your host. On this edition of the show, we will take a look at your layout photos. We will discuss your responses to the question, when it comes to experience and skills, do you consider yourself to be a beginner, intermediate, or advanced model railroader? And we will flash back to a video that I uploaded in October 2016 called Structures and Streets on my N-scale layout. But first, this. Some of you have told me that you're not receiving notifications when I upload a new video. Well, the YouTube notification system baffles me, but here's one thing you might try. Click on the notification bell to the right of the subscribe button. Then select All. I can't guarantee it, but doing this may help. Okay, let's get started with your layout photos. Most model railroaders like to look at other people's layouts, and you can too, right here on every edition of Dispatch. Here's how it works. You post photos of your layouts in our Facebook group. Then I bring your photos over here to Dispatch to share with everyone during the show. And here are the photos you posted since the last edition of Dispatch. After the show, I'd like you to go over to the Facebook group and post a photo of your layout there because it's fun to share the hobby. And besides, we want to see what you are doing on your layout. I will put a link to the group down below where you can post your photos. As always, you will know you've arrived at our Facebook group when you see this photo at Echo Canyon on my layout. Now it's time for our question of the week. And here it is. When it comes to experience and skills, do you consider yourself to be a beginner, intermediate, or advanced model railroader? Most of you felt that you are either beginners or intermediate model railroaders, and a few of you felt that you are advanced model railroaders. But a number of you said that you don't fit neatly into any one category. Instead, the category you fall into depends on the task at hand. For example, you may feel that you are advanced in wiring, but a beginner in scenery. For that reason, I ended up creating a fourth category, which I call combination, for those of you who said you didn't fit neatly into any one single category. You said that you don't fit into any one category because model railroading involves many skills and interests, all rolled into a single hobby. You're good at some of those things and not so good at others. And your skill level in various categories can change over time because you learn and gain experience as you go. I'd like to thank all of you who responded to the question. As always, your responses are a great way to share the hobby. At the same time, your responses can help me orient the content of this channel to fit your skill level, experience, and interests. Now, we do have a question for the next edition of Dispatch, and here it is. What is the one thing you would most like to see changed in model railroading? Perhaps you would like to see all locomotives come speed matched right out of the box. Perhaps you would like to see all DCC decoders from various manufacturers come with the same set of CVs, that is, the same configuration variables. Or perhaps you would like to see all N-scale locomotives and cars come equipped with microtrains couplers so that you don't have to swap them out when you buy new rolling stock. You get the idea. Name the one thing you would most like to see changed in model railroading. Why is this question important? Well, hopefully manufacturers of model trains will hear what you have to say and will respond to it. That's why it's important. As always, post your answers to the question in the comment section down below. Then I will tabulate your answers and we'll discuss the results in the next edition of the show. Again, the question is, what is the one thing you would most like to see changed in model railroading? Now it's time for our big flashback. I'm going to take you way back to October 2016 when I uploaded a video called Structures and Streets on my N-scale layout. In this video, I explain why I chose to model the background scene for Green River the way I did, even though it may not be prototypical. And I explain how I went about creating the scene, including the low-relief 3D buildings that I installed along the backdrop. As always on my layout, the work at Green River isn't done because there are thousands of details to add and some things I might change to make the scene resemble the prototype more closely. Well, be that as it may, let's go over and take a look at a clip from the video. A little over 2 years ago, my layout looked like this. As you can see, there was no sky or photographic backdrop on the upper level. There was no scenery, there was no town or railroad yard. Today, that same area of my layout looks like this. The town you now see on the upper level represents Green River, Wyoming. In this video, I plan to show you how I created the town of Green River on my layout. Alright, I've sent up a drone to film the area from the pedestrian bridge at the west end of the yard to the highway bridge at the east end of the yard. I should mention that the former Amtrak station that you see on my layout is still a mock-up. There's much more to see in that video, so I encourage you to watch the rest of it. I will put a link to it down below. I hope you've had a chance to watch my recent video, Running Unit Coal Trains on my N-scale layout. In this video, I run 2 unit coal trains, one loaded and one empty, in opposite directions on my layout. I do this to show you how I simulate the movements of a loaded coal train westbound and an empty coal train eastbound. This video is proving to be very popular, so if you haven't seen it yet, I invite you to watch it after dispatch ends. I will put a link to it down below. Or you can go to these videos over here just by clicking on them. Well, thanks for letting me share the world's most amazing hobby with you here on Dispatch. As always, I'm Roy Smith. Until next time, happy railroading.